Elden Ring. You are turning into quite the enigma, but I'm all for it. I started this channel to talk about plants in games, a subject that I think is fairly underappreciated. I want to show everyone the beauty of our natural world and a possible inspiration of game developers to put specific plants in their games. With From Software's games being incredibly in-depth, it felt only appropriate to start investigating their upcoming title, Elden Ring. Already, we have seen many different areas with all sorts of flowers and trees, most notably the Golden Earth trees. Theories about possible real-life equivalents on these will have to wait, but I found 3 plants in the gameplay preview and in the network test that make for some interesting speculation. The footage you see is from the several trailers we got, and some was taken during the network test. Items, enemies and possible crafting materials may not be in the area they will be in once the full game is released. Every bit of footage has its source noted in the bottom right corner, just to make things a bit clearer and to inform you that everything you see is subject to change. First is this plant, found in a catacombs area underground. It has about 14 white bell-shaped flowers along 2 curved stems. It is about 30 centimeters tall and its leaves grow from the base of the stem and are wide and elongated. I think many people know what plant it most resembles, or have at least heard about it. Perhaps in this little TV series called Breaking Bad?
Oh, thank God. Still saying it wasn't the ricin.
Then what was it?
Flower called Lily of the Valley.
Yes, Lily of the Valley. It's not officially classified as a lily, as its Latin name is Convallaria majalis, and it's actually part of the asparagus family. The plants are pretty much identical in appearance. It's native to places in the northern hemisphere like Europe, but also Japan and other parts of Asia. It exists in the wild in the United States, but there is some debate on whether or not it's native to the American continents. The plant also contains about 38 different toxic compounds called cardiac glycosides that decrease one's heart rate. While it is deadly and there are known cases, medical uses include treatments for cardiac arrhythmias, having an irregular heartbeat, though not widely used anymore. Contrastingly, the plant is a symbol of happiness, purity of heart and mental clarity, but still highly toxic. One odd characteristic, the plant in the game somehow survives in dry, sandy conditions without any sunlight, and it looks completely out of place. But this might actually be intentional. Lily of the Valley does well in shaded areas and soil that is silty or sandy. Moreover, the plant grows best in moderate temperatures between 20 and 45 degrees Celsius, so perfectly capable to survive in room temperature conditions of the catacombs. From the game footage, it can probably be picked up and used as a crafting ingredient, either in small doses to benefit the player character's health or mental fortitude, or as poison-tipped arrows or concoctions. Another plant that is found in the same catacombs area is this purple flowered one. It has some impressive features with its 6-petaled purple flowers, large oval-shaped leaves and long, pronounced stamens. The plant is maybe a meter tall and its 6 flowers are clustered on top the stem, called an umbel. This one was a real head-scratcher to find an equivalent to, even though it has some distinct characteristics. I wasn't able to find a matching species of plant, but I am quite confident in a certain genus, Lycoris. This genus recognizes about 20 different species with common names like spider lily, magic lily and surprise lily, and is part of the amaryllis family, so not actual lilies. The flowers often have 6 petals in a wide range of colors, including red, white, yellow and purple. They grow in umbels with 4 to 8 flowers, and stems can be 70 centimeters tall. A most distinguishing feature are the long, slender stamens that curve upwards just like with the plant in the game. A clear difference are the leaves. Leaves are typically elongated and narrow and die before flowers bloom, not the broad oval-shaped leaves we see in the game. Still, there are more similarities. The genus is native to East and Southern Asia and is cultivated on a large scale to act as decorations for special events. One such event associated with licorice plants are funerals, where the flowers accompany the dead into the afterlife. Especially the red spider lily, being called corpse flower and grown around cemeteries, with some legends stating they appear naturally in hell. Some plants in the genus are also poisonous and used to repel pests. It seems that the plant we spot in the game could have a similar symbolic meaning as we see it inside the catacombs area. It looks like we can pick it up and use it as an ingredient, but to what end we can only speculate. A plant that is a lily is shown in the inventory screen. Trina's lily, used to create sleep bone arrows that, as the name implies, puts enemies to sleep. From its appearance in the wild, as well as its icon and description in the inventory screen, we can gather that it has 5 pale purple petals, maybe 6, in a relatively large trumpet shape and elongated leaves attached to the stem. Furthermore, it has the ability to, quote, dull the senses, and is exceedingly rare to find. It represents a symbol of faith in Saint Trina, the person the plant was named after. I came across a very interesting lily that has a surprising amount of similarities. Lilium longiflorum, commonly known as Easter lily, is a plant with an incredible historical context, and its appearance is close enough to the image we have. As with most lilies, the Easter lily is highly toxic, and perhaps the most toxic lily for cats, where it can cause acute kidney failure. So, if there's a cat type enemy in the game, now you know what to use. Dark jokes aside, it has similar effects as Lily of the Valley, being able to decrease heart rate. But here is where it gets really interesting. The Easter lily is native to Taiwan and the Ryukyu Islands of Japan, from which the plant was exported to the United States before the 1940s. After the attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941, export stopped and the plant became exceedingly valuable, but remained highly sought after, with some cultivators calling it white gold. To this day, the Easter lily is one of the most popular holiday flowers and it's cultivated in masses. The reason for the popularity of the Easter lily throughout history can be found in the Bible. Here, in Luke chapter 12, verse 27, Jesus mentions the significance of the lily. It is believed that these lilies grew in the Garden of Gethsemane from Jesus' drops of sweat as he prayed the night before his crucifixion. Both of these historical moments might have been inspiration for the lily and why it's so rare to find them in the game. Furthermore, Trina is a saint, and just like with the Easter lily, seems to be a symbol of faith. The flower symbolizes Jesus' resurrection, perhaps being an inspiration for Saint Trina's religious methods. The description for Trina's arrow states they were once used in deep sleep rituals, maybe in an attempt at being reborn. Trina is clearly a very important historical figure, and it wouldn't surprise me if we often found these lilies in religious places, such as shrines. There are a lot more plants we got to see during the closed network test, and most could be used to craft consumable items. Roses and herbs and fruits and leaves and moss, like the game was made to talk about plant lore. There was this wilted sunflower, called the Tarnished Blossom, we also saw in the gameplay preview. Or these lightning-struck Fulgurblooms infused with lightning's essence. Notice how it's lightning's essence, as if essence is contained within a being named Lightning, like we would possess sorceries. Perhaps Fulgur is this being with powerful lightning magic, who casts down bolts of energy, like Thor in Norse mythology. The Ash of War scale Thunderbolt was wielded by dragon worshippers. All I can think about now is fighting a Thor-like god riding a dragon. Wait, They wouldn't, would they? Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Elden Ring shapes up to be the largest and most in-depth From Software game yet, and I'm super excited to play it. I would appreciate you share the video and give me feedback, as I will be making more videos about Elden Ring and plants in games in general. There is just so much interesting information and topics I have already come across, that we won't be running out of subjects for quite some time. If you have ideas for topics on plants and games that you enjoy, I'd love to hear them. Thanks again, and I'll see you later.